RPG going to take us to Infernal Shrines. And, well, KT won their map choice. Maybe RPG can bring it back.
Maybe they can bring it back. Who knows? What was the map, by the way? Sorry, I just missed the
It was
screen.
Infernal Shrines.
Infernal Shrines, okay.
Friend.
Even then, you know what? I want KT to ban Alexstrasza and pick Tyrande. Maybe, honestly, maybe even ban Alexstrasza and Decker Kane if you're first pick.
Also, just only ban the supports, but then you're just going to give him, like, Maiev and stuff like that. That sounds like a nightmare.
I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind, to be honest with you. Okay, maybe the Maiev I would mind.
Well, there's Genji, so it's not happening. It's absolutely not happening because you prioritize. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's not happening anyway because there's just too much priority. KT ban out Deckard though.
Makes sense. And just watch for a Garrosh or a Tyrande ban right now. I think RPG.
Diablo.
Diablo is still a solid ban, mind you, but is it?
That's my
would
prediction.
also make sense. Yeah.
Diablo ban.
I would ban Tyrande, honestly, and then you have Diablo for the enemy team, and you could just pick something else. You can pick...
Yeah, but then they just pick... No, they just pick Alexstrasza then, and then what do you have to heal? Your Diablo's just going to get cleaned. So they're giving RPG the choice, and then they can pick the other.
Okay.
Straza.
Immediately. Wow.
So they're going to get the Tyrande, but the AoE healing very in favor of KT, but... What a classic combo is now on the side of RPG. The Tyrande Diablo, that's pretty cool.
Now, here is where it gets really interesting, right, guys? Can RPG execute that combo as well as KT can? Or are they just picking it up for the sake of, you know, being like, well, we don't want our opponents to get it, and we saw how strong it was, so we're just going to try to make it work. That is going to be the interesting observation to make here.
Malthael picks up the win, not the win, thanks brain, gets picked up here along with the Johanna, which sort of leans us towards a Tormented Souls build due to the fact that those two combo so well together.
Yeah, you stun them with a Blessed Shield, you pull them together with a Condemn, and Malthael is going to clean up the house. That is, of course, the plan behind it. The question is, can they execute it? Now, banning-wise, Hanzo... I don't hate the Hanzo. It's nothing that stands out to me.
He's still value. He follows up on Johanna amazingly because of Dragon Arrow into Condemn into Dragon Arrow. It's just such an easy combo to land. Takes minimal effort. So removing the Hanzo makes a little bit of sense here. KT on the other hand,
I just banned
probably
Phoenix.
Looking at Phoenix or Reyna maybe. They could ban Yarel. Okay, I guess they have Malthael, so makes sense.
Yeah, Phoenix ban I brought up because both Pa and Chicken seem to be very, you know, dependent on that hero. And although Phoenix couldn't win game one, it's still a comfort pick that you sometimes want to shut down. All right, but the Yarel is certainly a good one too. Now we see the Bunker. Follow-up stun there as well by Blaze. With that Jaina burst damage, that could be really dangerous. We saw what KT could do with the exact same combo in the previous set against the A-team, right? Tyrande, Jaina burst, Diablo... That is some wonderful synergy right there.
Real. Ooh, that is a triple melee again. Something that KT have been leaning on very heavily recently. So nice and cheeky coming in at the end there. So now, second assassin for RPG. Jaina could not do this alone. We're looking at Reyna, Phoenix, all these options. It's going to be Reyna.
Wow. This time around, I feel like RPG got all the tools they need. All the tools they wanted. Like, once again, this is a flawless team composition with very little weaknesses. Now, I look at KT, and I'm like, this is not a bad draft. It's just way hard to get value from. Cheryl can be amazing against what they have, right? Sanctifications, the shields, and all that stuff. But can they execute it? Can they get those sanctifications when they need them?
Here to find out if it even is sanctification. Shenanigans.
Tyrande has
be a pretty
level
good,
1 anti-stun though.
Unless you judgment the Tyrande.
That is a fair point, my friend. Or Tyrande doesn't even go for Celestial Attunement because there's Kel'Thas, and then Kaldera Resistance becomes a little more attractive.
Maybe.
And then boom.
I mean, like, here's the point. How many times... That's also a really good idea if she goes for the resistance. Like, here's the point. What are the two things we've said about Tyrande most during our cast today? One, Tyrande lands the follow-up stun, and 2, Tyrande is being ignored and getting all the healing.
True.
So putting pressure onto her with a judgment could be exactly what they need.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Ladies and gentlemen, Tetra and I were getting a little crazy, but hey, it's China, it's the playoffs, so anything is possible. We've already seen Alaric twice today. It succeeded once. Let's see if maybe Tyrell with a funky build is going to be able to surprise us. But even a standard Tyrell, don't get us wrong, can work. Sanctification is still super value, super good against all that burst, and Jaina in particular. Ladies and gentlemen, we're gearing up for game number 2 between RPG and KT. We're going to Infernal Shrines, and on the left-hand side, it is the men in blue. It is RPG with Free Show, MJ, Pa, C, and Chicken.
And on the right, it is KT with TWT, Kiaru, Lotus, Timeless, and Bad.
And they're playing quite far from Bad. That is KT. So many plays were made, especially with, you know, TWT and Timeless being on the absolute same page today. Now, this time without their infamous, you know, Garrosh, Diablo, Tyrande combo. But they have to play a little more standard. That doesn't mean that they can't have synergy, especially when it comes to, you know, saving people with that Dragon Queen in time.
Celestial Attunement coming in here, so no spell armor here, except for Diablo, who went for the Soul Shield. So suddenly...
Oh, messing up the combo already.
Timeless is in the back line, just absolutely wrecking here, but not enough for a kill.
Wow.
I start to think, and we were already talking about being crazy, there is a bunker on the other side, so the percentage goes down quite a bit, but I'm starting to think Pyroblast wouldn't be awful. Assuming they time it past the bunker.
I was going to say, as long as they make sure that bunker is either on cooldown or it gets destroyed, and it doesn't land on Diablo, who has a soul shield, I agree with you. Ice Block on Jaina could also be another obstacle, so... that was a lot of damage on Kel'Thas. Can't cast anything when you're dead, so need to be more careful, man. Although there wasn't like a picture-perfect combo by RPG, they still have just so much damage.
Hey guys, remember that Diablo Tyrande used to be really good? Now it's better. Have fun. As we see them move up, they're going to start battering away at these Khasra camps. You can see in the top lane, Malthael and Blaze, they'll just duel each other for a really long time. That fight's not going to go anywhere anytime soon, at least until Dire Lone is picked up.
Yeah. Oh, the Owl Scouting barely dodged here. The what is a beautiful yellow bird that comes to mind?
A budgie.
Budgie. How cute. The budgie just flew over and said hello. Look at that bomb damage, by the way. Pretty crazy.
Cool skin with it as well. The skin, the animations of this one look really cool.
Oh, the Blood Elven? Yes, it's so nice.
Yeah. And of course, Ragdoll's always welcome. Timeless Iron Skins, just to make sure he doesn't get overpowered. Another Netherwind. No one going for the energy roll anymore. Even though you do have a pretty decent setup for it with the amount of CC that could be offered. But not this time.
Yeah, the range is just too important to be passed on. You know, you need that extra range to not overextend, to not get too close to Diablo. You want to keep your distance as Kel'Thas. So I don't hate it. Raynor, once again, switching things up here today. A lot of crazy different Raynor builds today. Keeps the damage up, though. Good stun by Bad. Raynor is fast on his feet, though. Almost got the last remaining auto tech to take Kel'Thas down. But yeah, goes for the sustaining rounds at level 4. So every pepper shot will restore a little bit of health for Raynor.
No, only one kill so far in this entire game. Very chill start to a China game, which is always quite strange to see. But Chicken, he backs up, doesn't want to get himself caught out due to the rotation of KT. And KT start very early on to this point.
That they do. They already bring themselves into position. 7 is nowhere near to be found. Level 7, that is, for RPG, so they can fight on even talents. Johanna trying to keep Diablo at bay here. Diablo himself needs to be careful not to take too much damage from Malthael. He actually engages onto Malthael. Dragon Queen used immediately.
Lotus getting pinged on Living Bomb, spreading a little bit, but not too bad. But here's the idea. This was the idea. This is why KT started so quick. Neither team was going to hit level 7 too quickly, so they knew if they got a head start, Dragon Queen would secure them the victory. And as such, that is going to be the first Punisher of the game going over to KT.
Yeah, and although they almost lost someone in that engage by Diablo. They managed to pop the Dragon Queen immediately. Look at that on a Pale Horse. Lotos is speeding his way back to the bottom lane. Of course, we see a nice split there. None of the lanes should be left unsoaked, basically. Even when you have that Punisher pushing towards you, getting the experience in top and bottom is way more important than supporting this Punisher.
Timeless holding the front line for the moment, but the Punisher already down. They're just going to get double towers for this and the front gate. This is not too far out the ordinary. Diablo gets dove on. Bat gets dove on by Diablo and is able to turn around.
Anti-healing coming through as well there. Touch of Death online for Malthael, which is going to be really nice to see the value of this as well, especially if Tyrande goes for Shadowstalk, because if several people are affected by it, then the healing value from Shadowstalk will be greatly reduced. Kiaru saw the owl, most likely, saw the budgie, and knows that there's probably something fishy going on.
And they pull back, keeping themselves once again nice and safe. This Timeless just holding the line, just being that classic front line. He's not a Garrosh this game.
Yeah.
He's not a Diablo. He's none of those hyper-aggressive tanks. He's Johanna, and he's playing Johanna well. He's playing at the stalwart shield bearer front line, the Crusader, as they look to turn around. Bad drops in a good nether win there, but needs to start dropping in all those flames. As you can see, the damage coming out, but the camp is still stolen, and Kiaru will get dropped.
There's not a whole lot you can do when Diablo and Blaze are blocking the platform like that, and Tyrande cannot be pressured. So she's going to continue to drop all those heals, and even the mighty Alexstrasza has very little to say about that. Also keep in mind that KT was very split. RPG, on the other hand, had a strong 5-man unit to contest this. So KT made a smart move to disengage, let those mercenaries go through, and wait for a better time to turn on the heat and fight themselves.
Line being used with some things exposed, a little bit of extra damage and wave clear being added by Timeless there. Abundance, nice little stun and stack acquired there by Tyrande in the meantime.
Is it just me, or is the damage not quite there yet for KT? Whenever Malthael is not immediately joining those team fights, I feel like Kel'Thas at this point in time can't do all so well. He can't do all so much against the onslaught of RPG. That might change later once he gets access to Ignite level 16, for example. Once he gets his level 10, even that's going to help him out with additional DPS. But right now, KT seems to more like tickle the opponents.
Well, they're about to have their level 10s half a level behind RPG, who already have those. Hyperion, Shadowstalk, and Mystery Boxes, as no one else has picked yet. Although we know what Blaze is going to pick. Thank you, Blaze. Don't even try. Oh, we see the APOC, and what are we going to see?
Ring of Frost, maybe? I mean, into a potential sanctification, though. Jaina is definitely going to have to wait. Yeah, Water Elemental, it has to be.
So we see, like you said, Sax on the board. Cleansing Flames, Blessed Shield, Phoenix, no Pyroblast. And Malthael yet to pick. He's built, he can go either build here. He's not going to get the maximum damage if he went for the Tormentor Souls, though, so it is going to be the last rites.
Yeah, Water Elemental also unlocked. I mean, the risk of wasting a Ring of Frost into a Turiel is just too high, so I definitely understand that move. Now, Malthael in trouble. Heals like a massive champion, though. Here comes the Sanct to keep his Angel Brother in safety as well. That is not too bad of a team fight to take here for KT all of a sudden.
Bunker just gonna get dropped here. Cleansing Flame was decent by TWT, but he's gonna use drop Dragon Queen, try and keep everyone alive, but a beautiful blow up thanks to the Jaina as Kel'Thas is down. But C getting weakened by Lotus, looking for that kill. They get Free Show instead, not the person they were going for, but they get him. Timeless and Kiaru barely able to survive. Kiaru, that was interesting.
Glow Greed, hashtag Glow Greed. Sometimes happens to the best of us.
And as such, it's a 2-for-1 in favor of RPG. They take the fight, take the point, and they're probably going to take the Punisher.
Honestly, if Kiaru had just gone back, take a sip from the healing fount, I'm not sure if he had it available. If he had just gone back, all of a sudden KT can continue the fight, and maybe they can even, you know, hold this objective. But as it is, Turiel died, and that was the end of his team for the time being.
Timeless stays alive for the moment. Good gravity lapse, but not enough to actually finish off C here, who is doing a fantastic job with this frontline Diablo. And, Well, Timeless is going to be feeling a taste of his own medicine right now.
But already, I think it's safe to say that C is not as solid, not as impeccable on Diablo then, like compared to Timeless. He has missed a couple of overpowers. Are we going to see that Kiara leap over the wall with an Eldrin's Might behind? Beautifully done. But I think that wall and Water Elemental tells you one thing. RPG is not done just yet, and they want to drive you away from that fort. And I think KT knows that Diablo is lurking in the shadows there.
Well, here he comes. Another good gravity lapse, though, to turn it round. C takes a fair amount of damage. But remember, he's full on souls. He's popping his soul shield pretty much every time he goes in to absorb all that damage.
So good.
And that fort taken out.
All right, the Punisher's still sitting at 43% health. But RPG is done pushing for now. Instead, they're trying to go for a gank onto Malthael in the middle. Once again, another messed up combo. They're probably still going to get that kill eventually. There we go. But not the cleanest of combo.
No, it was a very not a good combo at all. But in this case, the crossfire from Blaze enough to give the burst damage for the kill. But the signs of, like you said, imperfection from RPG starting to show through. But it turns out even an imperfect Lord of Terror is still literally Diablo, so therefore he can make those plays.
The way you said it reminded me of Kel'Thuzad. Absolute imperfection.
That'd be cool, just pessimistic Kel'Thuzad.
Yeah. That's what would actually be a statement worth for Alarak.
Yeah.
He would probably taunt you like that.
Just like when he sees Kel'Thuzad, absolute perfection. I see we're only talking about me, as we see the pullback from C.
Holy Ground now online.
Danger.
Yeah, that could be a big tool here, Holy Ground, to either prevent the combo from hitting or to put a stop onto RPG's onslaught, or maybe to trap someone yourselves. Lotus with a cheeky sidestep, actually self-cleanse. So good, Lotus, what a play, man. He kept himself alive like an absolute baller right now.
And with that, KT, though, they're still only a level behind. They are still even on talents. They are not out of this yet. And with that, they're going to move up, grab their own Fallen Shamans, get some more experience, get some more pressure on the map.
This is such a clutch game, man. Without, with the exception of the top fort, no structure has really fallen yet. I mean, bottom and middle fort are not really looking super healthy anymore for KT, but they haven't taken any major losses, any major, setbacks. And with the next shrine taking place in the middle, they even have half a fort to potentially intercept an enemy Punisher. But time is not really on their side. They're definitely going to have to catch up a little bit in experience. And if they wait for too long with that next team fight, I think their opponents are just going to wait for 16. And they're going to overpower them with a Talon lead.
You see the move in, KT. Waiting for their opportunity to see if they could get free show, but he was already backing up, so they just decided to move in for the push instead, using that Shield of Tyrael to empower the minion wave, which gives them a little bit more pushing potential without so much of the risk.
Every tower matters right now, every minion matters as well. KT, they realize, you know what, we couldn't find an opening, we couldn't find a good engage angle, so we're just going to let them have 16, let them have this objective as well. Try to get some value elsewhere and keep up the soak. I really, really hope that KT is not making a mistake here, not trying to force something they shouldn't be forcing, because RPG already has postured up mighty solidly. And even Timeless on his Johanna, if he were to get caught in that shrine pit, if he were to get slammed against the wall, even Johanna wouldn't be safe. But it looks like 15 to 16, they're trying to make a move. Forget what I just said, ladies and gentlemen. Here goes the triple stun.
They're holding the Sank very patient here by KT. They need to drop it down, need to drop it down, need to drop it down. As the Sank comes out, they can try and burn through the bunker here. Good abundance from Alexstrasza, keeps them topped up as well. Sorry, that was Cleansing Flame as they move forwards. Oh, good gust there with the wind buffet as they turn around. Data from the side, though, is beginning to ping in the damage as they creep onto the point. 28 to 21. That Dragon Queen will force RPG back, at least temporarily, and Kael'thas is getting some big hits in terms of zoning, and they will actually get to 34, but here's the Apocalypse. Huge damage onto Malthael. He's able to pull back thanks to the self-cleanse as they turn around. MJ dropping low from the living one, 39 to 33.
They did it!
Take it, and now they're looking for C. Last rise, not enough for the kill as Malthael gets dropped.
The Punisher's about to jump. There goes the stun, and Blaze ends up getting crunched underneath the tippy toes of that purple Arcane Punisher. But can we just highlight how well of a team fight, how good of a team fight that was for KT? They took it willingly, 15-16 the entire way. Dragon Queen getting full value. RPG thought they had it banked in there. Now look at that clutch survival by Diablo. The last right's just a little bit too early. But now, with the help of the objective, Blaze says bye-bye. And that might very well be the keep line here, the tower line. Not even that. Good defense.
Being patient enough to hold that sanctification was such a big deal.
Oh, it was so huge.
Being able to drop it at the last moment as Bunker went down, negating both teams' saving potential, just gave them the ability to turn that around. Alex Draws with a beautiful cleansing flame on top of it, extending the duration of the Dragon Queen in the process, keeping everyone alive, keeping everything running, and keeping the control. And now Kael'thas with that ignite, next shrine phase is going to be a nightmare for RPG in terms of avoiding all those flame strikes.
Also, kudos to Malthael here. I think Kiaru is playing out of his mind right now. He's dodging so many... sorry, Kiaru, of course, with that clutch sanctification. Wait, who was playing in Malthael? It was Lotus.
That is Kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lotus is doing a fantastic job as well, so that is also acceptable.
Amazing. Like, look at that self-cleanse. Again, anticipating.
He gets the teleport out, cleansing flame coming in, but RPG have already pulled back.
Holy ground.
Quite the heroic, but it is onto Blaze here, gets the bunker, trying to escape sanctification. See ya, free show, and you are now a stack.
KT right now is just playing on another level. We have never seen them perform this well. They're managing their cooldown so wisely, especially Lotus and Kiara, the two angels, the double angels. Are they going to finally kill Diablo and make this a complete lore victory?
They can't. They cannot move through the Lord of Terror better than two high heaven angels as he keeps himself alive.
Let's say 1.5. Malthael technically isn't there anymore. We should have probably differentiated a little bit, but he used to be.
Kendrick Swish, everyone. The angel of pedanticism.
Hey! You have crushed me. You have crushed my dreams so many times already.
Just give me Ethereal in the game, please, Blizz. As we see the movement onto the Shaman camp for both teams. And those will be negated pretty quickly, especially seeing as RPG still have their fort. Structures still, other than the actual health of them, pretty even.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably the closest game we have seen all day long. The previous one was already pretty darn close, but in the end, RPG made a couple of unnecessary mistakes and really, you know, making our KT run away with that lead. But this game, all of a sudden, they played so well in the early game, RPG that is, and only with some crisp team fighting and some really smart cooldown management on their heroic abilities was KT able to actually overpower their opponents. Now, Lotus, man, needs to be careful. But Lotus's self-cleanses in particular, they have been so good. Baiting the enemy tank, C in that case, more than once, actually, into going deep onto him.
Timeless creeping forward. Down goes the last fallen shaman. Both teams now losing that potential. Lotus spots the rotation. Now, what can he do about it? He immediately runs into the back line to put some pressure, but instead just runs past self-cleanses to avoid the slow from the water elemental. And it looks like this is just forced disengage. So both teams moving in. The difference is RPG blue water elemental for this. So KT, they now have the potential to dive with one less heroic. Unless they die to Diablo, as C gets a good tackle, but Timeless stays alive.
Timeless not even breaking any sweats here. Not even using the Iron Skin. He still has it available. Iron Skin against the team that RPG has is probably his most important cooldown. Tyranda's done. The Diablo's done, of course. The Blaze follow-up there as well. Down goes the Phoenix, zoning them out a little bit. The Holy Ground is not used just yet. Dragon Queen hasn't been popped. Here goes it.
This is good. Sanctification keeps them alive because that Blizzard was on point. Bunker gets melted here as they raid far forward. The Cleansing Flame not quick enough to save Malthael here, as now Bad is in trouble getting APOC. Cleansing Flame keeping him alive though. Where are the living bombs? Bad stays alive, and we see Par dropping low. Timeless just raiding C. Water Elemental will be dropped down once again, but it's still a 4 versus 4 as they 4 versus 3. Sorry, 4 versus 4 at the moment.
Bombs are spreading.
They are good. We're seeing that ignite value. They move forward, looking for the movement onto Kiaru, but he's tanking through. Shields going to be applied as Chicken is able to escape off to the side. Kiaru teleports away, but it's still a 1-0 in favor of RPG.
What a battle! Fighting one man down the entire duration with only the bombs of KT delivering the damage. They're trying to make something happen. That one was a little bit too ambitious by Timeless. It is now KT in full retreat, and it looks like that objective is finally, eventually, ultimately going over to RPG.
This game is an absolute slugfest. Both teams just throwing haymakers at each other over and over again. But it's Diablo who seems to be coming up top pretty much every single time. The second a fight disengages, Diablo has advantage as he has the quicker re-engage. So as such, KT, they need more of these longer, more drawn-out fights, as opposed to these big, as opposed to these back-and-forth engage and disengage fights.
Tyrael trying to squeeze out as much experience as possible, but he will be late. In fact, the whole team of KT is going to be late for that defense. I think they're not even trying to defend this keep anymore. What they need to do right now is bait the Punisher over to the middle and buy a little bit of time. That's what they need to do here. Oh, it is Malthea who catches the stun.
He gets the self-cleanse. The inevitable end is able to get him out of there for the moment. C is already pulling back as Kiaru gets stunned up by Tyrande. Chicken is hiding invisible. They already knew he was there, though, and were able to dodge his combo, but I love that. Using the invisibility of Tyrande to try and set up for a quick burst kill. Keep goes down. Punisher wades forward. RPG are done here unless KT overextend, ignite, apply. They're marching through. They're just going to let the core kill the Punisher. And it looks like KT, they want to fight.
KT wants to fight, but RPG is not going to let them. Bless you on Raynor. Are they going to catch Jimmy?
They get huge damage. Last rights onto C, but he hellgates out. Sanctification blocking the Blizzard from Jaina. They kill off the Water Elemental with the Abundance, healing up that backline. Free Show leaves a trail of oil in his wake, and everyone from RPG might escape here. Chicken is the target. Beautiful ice block. Turn around from C, but the knockup from Kael'thas shuts it down. Back into the Abundance they go. KT, they top back off.
Wow, the Dragon Queen was active during the entire time. The Winions next to the Mercenaries, maybe they're going to get some additional damage done onto that keep. Diablo even has to use Shadow Charge. Keep those minions at bay. Keep them on way, but KT is already following suit. Are they going to try to make that a reality?
It's so risky. It's already low, though.
That's
exactly what he's good at. Yeah, he has Flamethrower now, which means he can blast this from maximum range. 2 more Flamethrowers, and he's probably got it. And he's got all this disengage potential. Nothing can stop Deft. Why would you stand there, Tyrande? She eats the damage. Look at this, though. C, he's moving further and further forward. There's the immediate Iron Skin. Cleansing Flame coming in. It's the turnaround attempt to try and at least save the keep, but Free Show surviving. Bad gets dropped very low thanks to the flanking Jaina. Bad goes down. That's so much of their damage.
That is all their damage now gone down the drain. They need to evacuate immediately. Tyrael movement speed is of the essence. Maybe even a Holy Ground to keep those enemy heroes at bay. Diablo finds an opening, goes for Malthea, and he's probably going to get a kill as well if they can't stop him.
They get the speed. Beautiful Holy Ground. Kiaru gets them out, but most importantly, RPG saved the keep.
And
as such, KT, they are on the back foot. They are already 1-0 ahead in this series. It's a best of 5. They have space to breathe, but they're so close. They're so close to being able to take the 2-0 lead in this series. But RPG, every fight now, are just starting to slap them further and further back. And with those Ice Blade arrows... Actually, no, that's not even Ice Blade arrows this time from the...
That is the Shooting Star.
It is.
The Shooting Star will, at random, shoot a Lunar Flare at an enemy hero. It will prioritize heroes when there's heroes nearby. And it has all the talents in it. It's not an untalented version, so the bonus damage and the bonus range will be applied from Lunar Blaze at level 4. So that is an interesting talent. We haven't actually seen it all too often in competitive play, but with the additional damage and lockdown, it can really make for some surprise elements.
Mercenaries are going to be cleaned up. That will not take too much effort for KT. Their Shaman camp as well as keeping pressure on top lane, but the timing of RPGs is going to be brilliant because they kill theirs right as the objective starts. meaning that they will have catapults and a shaman in that top lane, which means KT will have to maybe pay attention to it or try to win the objective very, very fast. Level lead for RPG, but talents and all heroics are the same and online.
Yeah, every single cooldown is ready. It all comes down to which team...
How did he get there?
Powers through Jaina.
He
oh
spotted.
My goodness, she spotted.
Yeah, get out of here, cheeky. Comes in. Abundance will heal the majority of the damage as Timeless creep far forward. A stun from Blaze.
Double stun.
Flame being dropped early this time, keeping everyone alive. That is probably the best ability to drop so early in the fight, because it allows them to try and make a turn around Blaze. It is the bunker, and it is a on Ruby Wings coming in for TWT, so he is now online. We see Jaina ready to blink in huge damage onto Lotus, who's just dropping low. Holy Ground, though, keeps him safe. 19 to 24 in favor of KT. TWT immediately re-Dragon
the real dragon.
Got the first one for Ruby Wings. They turn it round, looking for the play. C moves in, Sanctification shuts it down, though. They are marching forward. KT with what could be their last fight, trying to hold the point, and they will get the Punisher, and that is not a strong keep to defend it.
Tetra, this could be game over for RPG. First of all, kudos to them for retreating, because I'm pretty sure a few months ago, Chinese teams would just brawl to the death.
Oh boy.
But all they need to do, oh my goodness, this is a race against time. KT need to finish this right here, right now. If they get stalled, if they get delayed for too long, those catapults and the mercenaries are going to end the game. The Winions are going to end the game.
Keeps down. Big stun coming out there as they march forward. The oil is slowing them down. Catapults have made it onto the core. The Punisher is marching in. It's all or nothing for KT in this game number 2. The Apocalypse lands. The shield is going to begin to tick down, but we're seeing Jaina getting blasted in the backline here. She is able to stay alive, though, this time, but the bunker grouping them up over the Flame Strike. Last
they
strike
get the kill.
Show. He's taken out. Bless Shield is used, but the core is ticking down. 68%, 64%. Minion Wave's not here. A fourth catapult is arriving. It finally take down 2 of them as they rush onto the core. 48%.
It's a race
against the catapults. Person's ported back. Someone put Johanna ported back, and that's gonna be it. Johanna saving her team's core.
They don't have good core damage,
though. The rest of KT will take down the core, and KT take the 2-0 lead.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a fiery ending to this game number 2. It could have gone either way. Johanna even had to teleport back mid-team fight. Otherwise, the Winions, they might have been able to finish that game. Only the blind of Johanna and the wave clear, I think, prevented worse things from happening. It was such a clutch move. And ladies and gentlemen, this was such an uncharacteristic China game. This was macro-oriented. This was call-oriented from start to finish. And none of the Chinese teams, neither RPG nor KT, got lost stuck somewhere because they didn't know what to do. This was a high-class game if I've ever seen one.
Seriously, I completely agree. That was absolutely fantastic. Back and forth from start to finish.
Wow.
That is Heroes at its finest. Might not be the highest level. We are China. We are not Korea. We are not Europe. But in terms of sheer entertainment factor, that was awesome. And KT, they continue their meteoric rise to the top right now. 1 game away from moving on to tomorrow's play days, securing themselves a solid 3-0 in terms of series. But RPG, there is the potential. They obviously still have the chance to pull off the reverse sweep. And even though there were some shaky moves there, some of their ideas were just brilliant. Because it was invisibility. You stand still, you get full invisibility as opposed to just cloaked. Jaina setting up ambushes with that, absolutely love, because she is the burst for her team.
That was super cool to see. And I do want to say this. In my personal opinion, RPG had the slightly better draft. You could really see how they were able to out-sustain their opponent's team, how they were actually able to get kills, to bring the pain. However, what KT did so well, much better in my opinion than ever before, was managing their cooldowns, making calls, and especially utilizing Alex Strauss's full value to the max, right? They had the Ruby Wings. That was used before the actual Dragon Queen. So they had the stronger cooldown first to protect everybody, and then they had the double Dragon Queen value, which got so much work done. So, also, the previously weaker team links, in my opinion, Lotus and Kiaro, they stepped it up big time that game, didn't they?
They really have. The entire team of KT,
Double
as
Angel,
we
man.
said before, have stepped it up in terms of performance, in terms of skill, in terms of just sheer talent.
Yeah. I mean, you go to tiny little details that I could notice in the late game. For example, they baited out the bunker super early every single time. And how many times did we see bunkers negate the value of a last rights? Many times, especially in China. However, this time around, you could really see how Lotus was patient enough to wait for the bunker to be either wasted or destroyed, and then using his last rights. While he did get many kills, it forced the opponents back. And then with KT, they could finish all those objectives with all the wave clear, with all those bombs. And that last Punisher made all the difference. If they hadn't gone that, they couldn't have been able to finish the game.
Exactly. They would have had to have brought it back. They would have cleaned up the catapults. But by that point, if the enemy team had got RPG had got the Punisher, they would be pushing him for a second keep. And that by that point, it's like a war of attrition to see if KT can survive as opposed to whether they can win. So as such, 2-0 in favor of KT right now in this best of 5, 1 game away from moving on to play against CE Challenge tomorrow and being one step closer to that second spot at BlizzCon, where they will be joining BTG. But like we said, there's still CE, there's still SPT, there's still the one. All of these incredible obstacles are in the way of anyone who wants to go to BlizzCon.
And once again, guys, we have to remind you, anything's possible. If KT somehow keep their composure, if they keep the momentum up, I think with how strong they look right now, even the likes of CE and SPT aren't safe no more. Even they could drop a game or two. So yeah, if they win this series, their march up to the top is going to continue tomorrow and maybe even on Wednesday to face the One and BTG. So this is super intense right now. Keep in mind, they finished 7th in the league. Who's currently 7th in Europe? Is it the Monkeys? Roll20 or
it's
Monkeys?
Still Roll20. It's Roll20 or the Monkeys, because those two are basically secured. I think.
Just
now,
imagine, Roll20 or the Monkeys right now making a similar climb, right? Taking down Granite Gaming, taking down Team Liquid, and some of the other top dogs. Like that would be a miracle, and the same applies here to China. Go for it. You want to say something?
Monkeys and Roll20 are exactly tied in terms of win-losses. So as such, they. So like you said, they are both 7th in this case.
So, Tetcher, man, the hardest part of this game was probably for us to crown an MVP. Choose one.
TWT. Just, what a god.
Yeah.
What a god. Those Alex Straza plays were gorgeous. I have no issue.
Honestly, while other players played super well as well in that game, it's just his consistency right now. 0 deaths. No matter if he picks the Tyrande, no matter if he picks Stukov, or Decker Kane, or even here the Alex Strasser, he's performing today. He's playing so well.
That he is. But seriously, this is such the best performance we have seen out of KT. And they are right now, in terms of maps, 8-2 just today. That is a pretty mental map score, considering you are playing game after game after game. Fatigue could be a thing that might start to set in. We saw that game was rough for them. Both these series have not been the easiest for them. And right now, they're heading to game number 3. They're heading back to Sky Temple. Can KT put RPG